What is up, YouTube? Cliff B here once again playing some more Scrap Mechanics. So I just finished a creative stream and now I've changed over to, I just finished the Scrap Mechanic survival episode and now I've changed over to creative mode because there's been numerous patches since the last time I played this, which was 5 days ago. And it seems like things have definitely changed for the creative world because I don't remember there being just what seems like Oblivion. Let's go ahead and grab this one, build it, because this is technically my fastest Jeep. Oh boy, okay, what am I doing? Oh boy, look at that, that was a suspension test right there. But, yeah, in fact, wait, why are we using a Jeep? A Jeep is not what we need here. Let's get rid of that. What we need is something that can fly. Now, unfortunately, I'm not sure if flying machines have ever been fixed yet, because the thing is, ever since the survival update came out, all the flying machines are now a tad bit broken. This helicopter, that even though it kills my frame something fierce, is literally the only thing I have that can fly without issues. And I am going to go ahead and zoom out so the helicopter blades won't start chopping our face. Okay. Still drifts downwards. That's just a dried up lake. Wow. This must be new. But, oh my gosh, I thought that was water there for a second. That looked so much like water, but it's not. So, those are just landing pads or base pads. Basically, there's something just to give you a flat surface to work on. Oh boy, we're about to hit that. Oh boy, that should have been a fatal crash right there. Yeah. Let me tell you, it is not that easy to fly with, like, keyboard and mouse. Okay, so the creative world is still not a world. Dang it, I was hoping for water. Man, it gave me a great idea that if I were to make something that looks like a vehicle, but I go ahead and put like wood panels on the wheels, it should technically act like a boat. Yeah, I probably should have created this world with the helium mods just to see if that added water. Because there's so many areas that look like they should have water that just don't. But the problem is the helium mod adds buoyancy, but there's already buoyancy in the game here. Not sure what to do about that. So let's go ahead and... Well, that was a near miss. Let's go ahead and exit the world. Turn on the helium mod, see if that helps. Okay, and alright. So hold on, guys. Gonna exit. Gonna go ahead and go to creative mode for the fuse. I'm gonna say mods, helium. Enable select mods, yes. And now let's try this with one mod active. Let's see if it has water. Because they said they fixed mods. But let's see. So if I'm lucky, there would be a lake here. There isn't one. Oh my gosh. I actually don't know why I tried. There's no water there. There's no water down there. sure if it because it's a pre-render world. Let's delete it, try one more time, see if we can get a world with like water. If not, there are other things I want to build, like for instance a piston car. Brother. Alright, exit this world. Just go into survival mode. Let's delete that. Make a new one. Just mud on. Terrain. Please, lake. See what happens. I'm not sure if there's just another mod required for this or what. Because just so far, I've had zero luck with it. And I'm not getting like any warning signs that I'm missing like another mod, or you know, you need this for that to work. Or if there's another mod I should try that would probably add water. Because there's tiles and there's screenshots, and people definitely figure out a way to add like lakes to this game. Okay, it's much bigger, but there still isn't a lake. I don't know, I will look into that further, see what's going on there. But oh well, I tried. I'm not sure how to get a lake in creative mode so I can test out boats and make ones that actually work. But it's like, oh well. At this point here. Oh boy, I hate when that happens. Also, I forgot to turn this off, so that's gonna kill my frames. So can you go to Oblivion? Thank you. So while we unfortunately can't figure out how boats work, we can, fortunately, figure out how to make Bobby. No, I'm just joking. But now I'm gonna go ahead and clear all that, because another thing would be nice is if they allowed you to have access to like the scrap tools and whatnot. I mean, not scrap tools, like the scrap wheels, just so you can see better ways to design with them, rather than just straight up trial and error. But anyway, because let's try a piston car, because I heard those requires absolutely no power. I just noticed you can't even have the scrap wood. Oh, you can have the scrap wood. So let's grab the scrap wood. And what's this? Oh yeah, that's bubble wrap. The interactives. Let's grab a seat. Let's grab this one because it looks like that's the first one they give you. This probably takes about less material since it's smaller. Who knows? But let's grab that. And then we're definitely gonna need bearings. We're gonna need pistons. Why is it so small? Definitely gonna need a controller. This is probably gonna be an expensive machine. But oh well, and we're definitely gonna need wheels. And I'm gonna go for the big wheels. Alright, springs. Let's go for consumables. There's some mod parts. Local water activator. The most accurate water activator yet, allows for accurate physics at a small scales and faster calculation at large scales. At least one activator must be placed on a creation for it to float. The local activator only applies to the body it is placed on. It does not spread its effects across bearings and piston. Water activator. The water activator, the most accurate water activator yet, allows for accurate physics at a small scale and faster calculation. Calculation. Multi-layer. Oh crap! So it's not that it spawns lakes in the worlds. I have to make the lake. Oh crap. Okay, so that's how that mod works. So it gives me water as a block, and I have to actually place it and make like a basically a pool. Okay. Well, that's my fault for being a herper. Alright, I might be making this a bit too long. Also, I really love the way the scrap wood looks compared to like the regular stuff. Don't know why, just like the way it looks. Alright, so we wanted that high. And now I just realized I have no actual building blocks. Well, I am a herp for that one. And I'm gonna use these because the game really loves giving you these parts in particular. So I wonder how long I was being an idiot about that, and the game actually gave me the necessary thing, and I was like, oh my gosh, how do I do water? Well, nothing will make you feel quite like an idiot, like when it's just right there, right there. Right smacky dab in the middle of your face. Alright, that there, that there, that there. That there. And now the spring might be a bit of an issue. They might be a bit too long. You know what? Let's use the sport springs. Looks a little bit weird, but we're gonna do that. And that, and just realized this vehicle has no turning capabilities because of the way I built it. Sometimes you herp, most of the times you derp. Oh, brother. Well, that's my fault for being an idiot. Let's delete that block, lift it up. And let's put this here, this here so that this thing can have actual turning capabilities. Also, I kind of miss the big old flare this thing used to have when you welded it to something. You knew you welded it when you saw those flares. Oh boy. Okay, so we have those wheels. Now for the back wheels. This is where it gets interesting because these back wheels, right? So like that, like that. Like these back wheels themselves need to have pistons on them in order to turn. Well, yes. So let's see. Let's go. Now that there. There. Let's put this there. This here. Alright. Okay, so we made a car with big wheels. Yay! Go us. But now we need to figure out how are we going to get a piston to spin that wheel. So how is suspension going to mess with it? Because if the back wheel goes like up and down, that's going to mess with the suspension trying to turn it. I mean, that's going to mess with the piston trying to turn it, so I think the suspension was a bad idea? Question mark? Just to be on the safe side here, we're going to go ahead and remove the suspension from the back wheels. Let's assume that that's a no-go. And we don't want the back wheels at all to be like moving up and down. So I think the sport suspension, just two of these out. And let's see. Grab that and nope. Do that. And kind of realized you don't even need all of that. Could literally just put it on the back of the vehicle. But yeah, let's keep them leveled. Alright, so now that we have that, right, so now we need to put pistons. So what I want to do is this, right, then hopefully that doesn't interfere with that turning. It shouldn't, but then we're going to need this here, right? I think, maybe. Actually, I think we're going to need this on a piston like that. And then we're going to need that on there. Then that. And now, so where's the closest to right there? So I think it's right here. So let's see if we're going to need something. So if I put a piston here, and I put this here, and then I put this here, is that all connected? Okay, it's saying that's all connected. So the idea is that the piston will push that forward and retract. Right? I don't know. This is all foreign logic to me. You're gonna have to go, mate. crap! Alright. May not be symmetrical, and actually, there we go. And, alright, we're gonna need to switch for all this. Bye bye. Switch. Alright, and now I know you can connect a controller straight to. Oh. So yeah, when I press W, it activates that. And goes without saying, we're not going to have a reversing gear. I think we just wanted to connect to this here. Right? Yeah. So you wanted to push it like 2 blocks. Okay, we're going to need this off. So, just to make sure nothing. Should control those. No, clockwise is what we want. Yeah. So let's go ahead and get rid of this. Okay. So now let's see if this works like I want it to work. So in here, let's say that the default is, I want you 1 out. Where would you go? Okay, so it pushes it out. It's already going down. So that's 1 out. Now I want you 2 out. Okay. It does seem to be spinning like I want it to. Now let's say you go 3 out. Okay, and that's 3 out. That's good. And now, if it goes 2 out, will it go up or down? So let's try that. So now let's say 2 out. So it won't go to 4, that's too much. So let's say 2 out. Unfortunately, it goes backwards, and that's not what we want. Now, it could be a case of like, it's not actually moving the vehicle. So let's say if it's like this, right? Let's say it starts at, go all the way back, right? I'm gonna loop this. I want to go out by 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 0. Right? So when it's activated, oh, that's where we come across a problem. It's right there. So that will work for a circle. So I think I just put this in a bad location. Because that works. That turns it. Not fast, but it turns it. But it's like, once it gets to here and it's ready to compress, it's going to push it out. Also, yeah, if I had this like pointing downwards, it would push this thing, then once it gets here, we'll do the opposite. So how do we get this thing to keep going forward? Because like the only way this is going to work is if I put it on a lift. And the lift can't have the pistons like extended. They have to be compressed. So in order to do this, I would have to use another piston to push out the first piston so it actually stretches. Like one that just causes this piston to stretch by 1 from straight from the beginning, and then after that we go to the motions without the pistons fully compressing. Yeah, I think that can work. I think that can work. So right now the only problem is the way this is set up here. This is not going to work. So that needs to go bye-bye, the whole entire thing. Also love, how did that break? How does that break? How did you break? But yeah, that's in the right spot. That's fine where it's at. So what we want is actually, we want a piston on the back, like that. Right? Yeah, that's fine. So what that piston is going to do, is straight from the get-go, we want it to have lift up a bit. Okay, is that far enough out? Yep, that's far enough out. We just need to come down a bit. And then we put that there. Okay, now assuming that's all attached, like that's all attached, right? Yep, that's attached. That's attached, good. So if I can't bind it with anything, then that's attached. So we're gonna start off with this piston pushing that out. So they both have to be pushed out by, this one has to be pushed out by one, that one has to be pushed out by one. And then that piston goes through the motions like we had it before. Right? So if we do that, so now we actually need to connect all again. So let's make this okay, so this is going to start out by 1. This starts out by 1. And in fact, let's make our life easier. We want to take it off the lift. So that pushes it both back. Ah, crap. Why did you guys let me do that? Just sat there and watched and didn't tell me that, oh wait, you need to put this here first, otherwise your brilliant machine's not gonna work. Just let me do that. They sat there and watched me fail. But that's okay because of making a video. Alright, so now those are bonded with one another, right? Okay. Yes. There we go. Alright. So now that should actually spin when it needs to. So now we do like we did before. Alright, so we don't care about piston 1. Piston 1 stays extracted. This one needs to go out by 1, out by another one, out by another one, and then in by 1, in by 1, in by 1. And that needs to loop. So if I go here, okay, that's the problem. That's the problem. It goes back. No, we don't want that. So maybe it's right here. That needs to actually go out by 5. And then is it just a case of it's not fast enough? No. Okay, it's almost there. So maybe if we continue going out until 6, and then 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Will that work? Out by 1. The problem is once it goes to max, which I think is 4 out, it pulls it back. Maybe at that point we want this to spin downwards. But at that point it won't be a free spinning piston. I mean, it won't be a free spinning wheel anymore. gonna have to pull the piston back no matter what. Unless we use two of these things to pull the wheel. I mean, spin the wheel. Because technically, this is not a solid object. Wait, is this solid? Oh, shit. No, I don't think that's solid. That shouldn't be solid, I think. Let's try something here. Nope, it's not solid. So, since that's not solid, right? Can we take advantage of the fact that it isn't solid to have two pistons? So let's go ahead and reset that. And basically what we're gonna have is the same dealio. Okay, that's just because their default position is out by one. It looks glitched like that, but it's fine. So we have the same dealio, just much lower. So it's also doing the pattern. So when this pushes by one, we have another piston pushing by one. Pushing by one, pushing by one. And so once it gets to a certain point, it should be able to push this wheel where it's at an angle to where if when it pulls it, the wheel keeps spinning. Right? Right? That makes sense, right? I'm not crazy, right? Yeah, totally makes sense. Alright, so we want something that's near the bottom of the wheel here, so I think we're gonna need something like right here. Alright, is that the bottom? Looks like it. And we can also just do this because we know it has to be in the opposite corner of that wheel. Alright, so we know we failed there. That's way too tall. Okay, so it looks like it was just have to go down by 2. Why do we have more of this? Why are we getting these back? I think they might have borked creative mode. Now that's proper. Okay, so we want to go here, we want to put this here. Because, yeah, they're in line with one another. And then we put a thing there. Then we put a piston here. And now, crapsy daisy. I mean, I hope that's not going to interfere with our driving abilities here. Like, what touches the ground first? That thing is like super low. We might need a piston to push it into place. Because that's going to be scraping on the ground there. That's literally on the ground, so that's no, we can't. Pretty sure. Let's get this off the lift, shall we? Alright, so it's like that. It looks like it's not. Oh, okay. There's like barely any ground clearance. Oh boy. So that's fine. That works. There's just like very little ground clearance. Alright, so if we do this, and then we do this. And now we're gonna have to weld that together because I'm pretty sure it's blocks. Okay, that's all one unit. And now what we need to do is we need to wire that up. And it's gonna have to do the same motions. So now we have a third option. Okay, so when it comes to the third option, put it out by 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1. Contract. And this is going to go up to 5, so we want that to actually be 4, 3, 2, 1, contract. Okay. So now this thing is now on lift, this thing's on lift. Take it off the lift. So that contracts by 1. Now let's try it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, come on! They're crisscrossing and everything. Here. Okay, let's say 1 more extra step, alright? Nope. Come on. Why? Am I literally gonna need like a case of like the bearing is just gonna have to spin? So that way the spinning of the bearing assists with this. Let's go ahead, put it back on the lift. You are not the chosen one I was looking for. Alright, let's get rid of you. Nope. You're not doing the thing that I want you to do. Yeah, I'm getting extra parts and I don't know why. Okay, so at this point here, why is that so extended? If they bork something out. But I'm gonna need this bearing to spin. Yeah, that's fine. But how much of an increment am I gonna need to spin? Let's try with the smallest increment possible of just 5. So we're gonna go up by units of 5. So we're gonna go in here. At default it's 0. Then at the first spin it moves up 5, 5, 5, another 5, and then when it starts coming back, we're gonna go back 5, 5, another 5. Oops. Hold on. Another 5. And then, if you've done this right, oh. Yeah, that would help. Alright, let's see. Okay, it's not spinning anywhere near enough, so 5's not going to do the trick, so let's try 10. Because it's definitely holding the wheel back. Alright, let's try. Oh my gosh, it's right there. It wants to pull it. Does it need this one more encouragement? Let me see. What does it want to do? It's pulling it back. No, we don't want to pull it back. I want you to push it forward. So it's at this point here. I think here it needs to actually stay 0. And then gosh. Oh, no. What's going on here? Hold on. Let's take you off the lift. Let's see what happens. Alright. So, 2, 3, 4. Nope. But why? Nope. It's like, where is it getting stuck at? So maybe here. In fact, do I just keep the spinning motion going? Like, what if that's the problem? I'm telling it to go backwards when really I should just be keeping it going. Actually, no, I have to tell it to spin it backwards, otherwise it's going to spin to oblivion. There, why won't you go? It's definitely confused about what it's supposed to do there. Oh. And then it gets there, and it's not properly lined up. Hold on. Let me see what's going on. So this is stage 0. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. The problem is at stage 4. So what needs to happen at stage 4? Does it just need to stay there and let the... No, it has to go backwards. So let me see what's happening at stage 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Might be going out too far. So let's tell it to stay at 4, spin the wheel one more time, and then once it gets to here, start going in reverse. And let's see if that's what our problem was. 2, 3, 4. Nope. Why is it there? Right. 1, 2, 3, 4. No. What's going on at stage 4 that's messing it up? Or maybe we use 2 bearings, right? Yep. That will work out much better than what I'm trying to do here. So if we go and use like another bearing, right? Say a bearing here and a bearing here. Then what we can say is once it gets to that point where it is like thoroughly stuck. Okay, that's when our machine helps us out. I mean, that's when we help it out. So at this point here, right? Yeah? How you still had a connection to that? Oh, right, to the tire. Okay. So at this point, we actually want that to be there, so that way it's like locking it. And now, once it gets to stage 4, right? Because we know that if you put it down, right? At stage 4, so this is stage 1, this is stage 0, so stage 1, 2, 3. Okay, so at stage 3 is actually fully extended. 1, 2, 3. So that's when it's fully extended. So at that point, that's when we want it to go backwards, right? But it needs assistance doing that. So at that point, once it gets to stage 3, we want to go ahead and move that wheel slightly forward. So let's try 5. So once it gets to that stage, it's gonna spin the wheel while it's retracting. Then it's gonna keep retracting, and then that's when we're gonna need to spin it back. So once it gets here, we want it to go back to true. Actually, not here. So once the thing is fully compressed, that's when we want it to go back to true. And then, let's reset it. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3. No, what's going on? Yeah, push it downwards. Okay, you need more than this. That. Three. Okay. Let's try 15. 2, 3. Can it not rotate it because of the other wheel? Because it might be trying to spin this, but that thing's a free bearing, so it's not letting it spin. Oh my gosh. Never said it was going to be easy. Never said it was going to be easy to do this. Alright, let's see what happens. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so problem with that. The controller is fighting the piston. So I'm thinking that this actually has to move in intervals of 15 with it. 1, 2, 3. So that way it's at a 45-degree angle by the time this has to spin a little bit further. And then let's see what happens. Let's see if that's it, the trick. Alright, so 1, 2, 3. Pull it. Come on. Come on. Come on. And now. Okay, that definitely needs to return to true. So I think what we need to do is actually push this out a little bit further because that's an extreme angle. So let's say default is going to be 2. 2 out, just to give it more breathing room. Okay, that's a problem. That's a problem. That's a problem. So I think at a certain point, let me see, 1, 2, 3. Okay, it's very fast there. So I think it can do the 1, 2, 3 motion, but then it has to push out by 1. So it can stretch these pistons a little bit further, and that way this can contract. So I think at that point, right? So let's go ahead and reset this back to 1, right? Default to 1. Once it gets here, that's when I need it to go out by 1. So at this point here, this goes out by 1. This stays at 4 for another tick. Right? Yeah. No. Because that's when I need it to be out by 2. So not there is when it's here, once it gets past that hump. Oh, I forgot to change the name of the stream, because technically this is definitely not survival. This is definitely creative mode. Oh well. Live and let learn. Okay, so right now let's tick 1. So when does it get there? So 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's the problem. I need you to go back to how you was. One, 2, 3. Okay. And now, at this point, oh wait, can I just have this push out so that way I can pull this? Because it'll be pulling at a more extreme angle, and then I won't need like controlled bearings. Was that a thing I could have done? Like once it gets there, hold on. I idiot, and that's the solution. Once it gets there, so 1, 2, 3, 3. So at stage 3. 1, 2, 3. At stage 3, I'm going to push out. That stays at 4. And then I want it to push inwards so we can continue this cycle. Hold on, let's let it reset. 2, 3, stretch out. Or maybe it needs to extend one more at that point. So once it gets to here, instead of staying at 4, it goes up to 5. Machine. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, dang it. I think it has to push. So yeah, I'm telling it to push, but I think the problem is it's not doing enough. Hold on, let's reset it. Oh my gosh. Okay. What am I missing? Why? Why? Because when I reset it, right? Technically, it wants to go the extra mile right there. Okay, what if we go back to what I had earlier, where I had like the you're just Bork, my friend. You are Bork to high Bork. But what if I had it earlier, where I had like another one, right? So I had like another piston on this thing that's pushing it, but not at like here. Wait, how long has that been there? The one right here. So once it gets to that certain point, another piston can start pushing it and get it past that hump. Okay. Alright, let's try that. That's way too close. It's like is that on par? We need a bearing on that. And then that goes there. Goes there and that goes there and there we go. And that's connected, right? That's all connected. So yeah, what if we have this, right? And the idea is that this one is also controlled by piston. And so that's pushing it. So when that goes up by one, that's gonna spin this wheel. So 1, 2, 3. So let's try that. Let's see if that works. 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. 0. I think this should never be returning to 0. It should always stay 1. So now let's try that. 1, 2, 3, 2. Oh my gosh, why? He goes back there. Oh, come on. Nope. Nope. 2, 3, 4. Oh, come on. You're right there. What am I missing here? Why? Will it go straight if it gives it another push at that point? Hold on. Reset the machine. Turn this off, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. So once it gets to stage 4, can I give this 1, 2, 3, 4, one more push? Go up to 5, 2, and then 1. Oh my gosh, come on. Nope. Two, 3, 4. And nope. It just won't go. Wait a second. What if I'm an idiot? Well, no, I accept that. But what if, right? Like, hold on. Let's reset it. Excuse me. So what if we have this one here? Like, you know how it pushes it forwards, it gets to a point where it stuck. What if at the point it gets stuck, we have a counter piston that pushes the entire assembly forward. At the point that it gets stuck. Yeah, like instead of doing what we're doing, right? We have a piston that is straight up vertically. Then we move it to one side, it pushes the whole entire thing. Then we move it to another side. And then it continues that push. And then it keeps going back and forth, back and forth. Could that work? Hold on, let's get rid of this. That. Why do I keep picking up pieces? I'm in bloody creative mode. I shouldn't be creating. I shouldn't be collecting that. Let's get rid of this, because that's not the answer we're looking for. Now with that there, right? And we're gonna make life a tad bit easier for us here and just grab a longer effing pipe. Am I drunk? There we go. So now, let's have that there, right? And the reason why we're having this here is because what I want, if this works, is I'm going to go ahead and put this here, bearing here, this on top. Why did I make it that tall when I don't need it to be this tall? I'm an idiot. It just needed to be higher than the wheel, that's it. Bearing on top like that. That there. Now we need the piston here. Actually, hold on. Oh, it's fine. Ah, gosh, darn it. What'd I do? That's fine like that. So you put a piston on top, right? Yeah. And then this piston is going to be responsible for... Can I just put one of these? Call it a done deal. Does that go out perfectly? Oh my gosh. That's some 2000 IP plays right there. Right there. Okay, that's all connected, right? So now, we want this. I want this to be connected to this. You know, make our life easier. This. And actually, no, there's number them in order of how I want them controlled. That might help. This one, and this one. Now I'm thinking we probably don't even need this. That can literally be an effing bar, and I think this will work if we do this correctly. You know what, let's take it out just in case. No confusion. Alright, so this one I want you to start 9 degrees one way. So that starts off a certain way. In fact, let's go ahead and do this. It starts off like that. And now, I want you to push once, twice, three. Right? Once, twice, three. What? And then 2, 1, 0. Nope. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so once it gets to 3 there, right? So once it gets to 3, I want this to actually even rotate further. Let's say 45 degrees. Oh boy, 45 might be too much. Let's just do 30. 30 might be too much. 15. 50. I want that to rotate 15 degrees. And I do need that controlled. Once it rotates 15 degrees, I want piston number 1 to push up by 1. Or maybe... let's just make it 3. 4. Yep, by 4 will do the trick. So once that extends out 4, then I want piston number 2 to contract. So let me see. Okay, there's the problem. So by the time this contracts, I want this to go backwards. Okay, and once it gets there, I need this to go completely opposite way. So right now, piston's at 0, right? So the piston's at 0 gets to that stage here. That's why I wanted to go the complete opposite way. Oops. Okay, not that. Alright, and this needs to be this much. No, a little bit more. There we go. And then hold on. This thing's some type of certified drunk. Right, let's try this. So it starts off like that. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that messes it up. So it has to hit stage 3 before it does any of that. So let's not do that just yet. Or this. Let it hit stage 3 first, and then after stage 3. That's when I want it to go down by 15. And I want this to extend out by 4. I want to stay at 3 for a little while longer. So let's see, this will be stage 4. Oh my gosh. Just take continuous off, loop is off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 4, 5. once it gets there, it looks like it's already extended out by 1. One, two, three, four, 5, 5. Oh my gosh. I'm taking off that. Go on the button. Okay. Just make my life easier. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, it goes out. Put this back to 4. So this all just be 3. So let's say at this point here, I want the entire thing just to stop, like. Why is it there? Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So once it's out here, next stage I wanted to pull back by 1, then 2, so that's fully compressed. So we're gonna leave that extended. One, and then 2, almost 3. Okay. At that point there, when it's fully compressed, I want this to, oh, I didn't realize that's why this is messing with me. That's not 4. Anyway, once it's here, I want this to go back to true, like so. Then I want this entire assembly to spin in the opposite direction. Well, I got it straight up, but that's not what I want. Actually, is that what I want? I don't want it to where it is originally. And then I want the pattern to repeat. So can we loop there? Oh my gosh, this is real. That's it. I mean, it's not fast by any means, but technically, There's no engines? There is technically no engines. So that's a piston car right there. That's it. Oh my gosh, that was a nightmarish hell. But that's a piston car. If we had two of these things. Right. I love how borked those springs are because they go to the max of whatever you set them to be at max. Scrap mechanic, you might want to fix that, just saying. But oh my gosh, that is a piston car. It is hot garbage ass, and I don't think oil will be that hard to find to justify creating this monstrosity that has no goddamn speed whatsoever. It is a certified piece of crap that is probably super expensive to make. But at the end of the day, if you wanted to make a car that uses no fuel whatsoever, for the sake of like infinite travel, if you do not mind that it will take it literally an infinity to get to your destination. Also, there is no reversing gear because I'm not going to trouble of figuring out how to reverse this thing. Just connected, good. Just connected, good. I mean, that's just for luck. One of these controllers can do both. But if you want to, yeah. From the get-go. Then for piston is 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1, 0. 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1, 0. $15 here at the second 3. Negative 105 at the second 0, and then 90 at the penultimate 0. And then it is 4, 4, 4, 4, 0. So it's 4 at the second 3. Leave it 4 until you get to here, then it goes back to 0, right? And with that, that's exactly the same. So if I press 1, wow. does technically turn. It does technically move. But holy crap, this is ass. And I wonder, how would it do with a hill? We are literally faster than this on this. This is a thing. This isn't fast, by the way. So it's not a case like I put the animation to slow. This is the fastest that these pistons will go through this motion like that. At least we know when it encounters a hill, it can reset itself just fine. But it cannot climb that hill. Yep. Wow, this is not garbage ass. You know the saddest of the saddest is that I have a theory here that literally doing this, right? And we want to make sure that that's that way. Yeah. If I just do this for this piston, I just want you to go 360 degrees, right? Let's take it off that, and let's see. What? The F? Okay. And then, what if we just do this, right? Just keep telling these wheels, keep going 360 degrees the entire time. Like, is this a case where, in our goal of like not using petrol or electricity, just the controllers. Why did I say petrol? In our goal to not use gasoline or electricity, we're going to try just the controllers and the bearings. We're going to make regrettable life decisions. The controllers, just spinning our wheels 360 degrees. Which was simpler and easier. It's doing more work than the pistons. kidding me? Are you kidding me? If our goal was just to use, you know, no pistons, I mean, no gas or electricity, we could have achieved it just doing that. I spent 2 hours, nearly 2 hours, figuring out the piston contraption here. And you're gonna tell me that with the use of literally KISS, keep it simple, stupid, that we could have had a non-fuel and electricity burning vehicle for survival with just a controller. That is halfway decent, by the way. It's like, look at that. The piston's wheels on the back, they can't climb. Don't worry about it. Luckily, these wheels can. I have to test something real quick. I'm gonna go ahead and put you on a lift. Piston shite. Save. So we're gonna take piston shite here. Right? Yeah. Yeah. Just gonna go ahead and do that. Do that. Get that crap off. Right? Get that crap off. Now. Was I crazy in doing all that? Good. I have literally just done this instead. If you're wondering why I'm dragging, that's the only way to change these. Okay. If I would have done that, the only reason why I'm just realizing I didn't have to do the back wheels, I could have just did front wheel drive, it's just because I went all wheel drive. Because here's another no engine, no gas, no electricity vehicle configuration here. You can go there, you can go to hell. You can go to hell. 1. Are you effing with me? That's clearly faster. I don't need to bring out piston shite to know that this is moving clearly at a much faster rate. It's like, yeah, I don't have a reverse. I definitely don't have a reverse. But that is clearly faster. Now then, we're gonna go on this, right? We're gonna go to the Steam Workshop. Because there are piston cars here on the Steam Workshop. I'm gonna try one of these shites. Come here, you. Come here, you. It literally is pistons spinning a crankshaft. What the hell? Is this the reverse gear? He's got a flipping reverse gear. What the actual hell is this? So, this pressing anything. It's just wigging out because it doesn't know what to do. This is what I saw that convinced me to go for this. Why are there sensors? What is the sensor looking for? What the heck is this? So it's a sensor that goes to the piston. Wait, does the piston just have default? Are you effing with me? Are you effing with me right now? Are you gonna sit here and tell me that with this right here? Oh. My word. So you're gonna tell me that these pistons here have their own built-in speed modulator that if they're not connected to a controller, right, it would have moved faster. Now when it comes to this, there's also bearings being rotated here. That's being controlled by this thing here. That's telling them by default to be off angled. Then these sensors, they're just looking for a block, that's it. Are you flipping kidding me? What is this thing doing? Is that my reverse gear? So when I press this, that moves that piston forward for some reason. That tells everything to go. Oh. So not all the pistons can see that. Or when they do see it. Because this thing technically only has these pistons. That's a much shorter range. That's it. And what's with this one here? Why is this one here? Okay, but why? Why is there a piston there? So it can spin through because the pistons aren't solid blocks. The only problem with this, right? It's a pretty minor problem, pretty minor one. Is that you just can't hold forward to move. So what I probably would have done differently is just put like a probably would have just done a switch instead of the buttons. What if I press them both down? Then I just stop, that's brakes. And the fact that this thing moves fast too. Well guys, I decided to make a piston car. It was hot shite garbage. I mean, this is definitely better. The only thing about it is it's a bit uncomfortable to drive. It also does not have the power to go up this mountain here. Especially not with those back wheels. What if I put the brakes on? Does nothing. But we can reverse it. Doesn't have the power in reverse. Nope. Wow. I mean, piston cars is a thing. It would use no fuel, that is true. But here's the thing. This thing, at the end of the day, it's not going to be easy to acquire. Even though this frame is pretty much stripped, as bare as possible to have the bare necessities to go. The one I made are still crap. But at the end of the day, these are all crap vehicles, and you should just use a gas engine and call it a day. Or an electric engine. Or maybe even a water pump engine. Who knows? But I'm going to go ahead and end this episode here. So, ignoring this thing, you know what? F this thing, alright? Alright? So you can go F yourself sideways. Can I modify those? Nope. Like, oh, look at me, I'm so big, I'm fancy, oh my gosh. Again. You know, if I can do it. You. Alright. Well guys, I'm gonna go ahead and okay, lower the rate of fire in this thing. Can it still shoot for miles? Let me see something. Doesn't have the insane zoom that it used to have. Alright, anyway guys, I'm going to go ahead and end this stream here as well as this video. If you like this, please be sure to tune in tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's going to be 1800 hours for those who live in the area without a 12-hour time format. Where I'm going to be streaming probably not Scrap Mechanic. I'm going to wait until it gets more and more updates. Lots more updates. Like, please just add water to Creative. And add all the scrap stuff to Creative so we can see what the hell we're doing. That'd be nice. But other than that, I'm going to go ahead and end this here and call it a day. Enjoy your time in quarantine, have fun, and bye, Internet. Cliff B is signing out.